All right, so what's this first 48 about? We started and
I love it.
back,
Well, it's a show. It's the first 48 hours in a homicide investigation. It's not actors. They're real people, real detectives, and real victims, witnesses, everything like that. So they'll start the show out with a detective getting a call. They'll play maybe the 911 call. Oh, my God, someone's been shot. They go to location, and you just see the carnage. But they blur out the faces of the dead people. But you get to see them, like, laying there with those askew shoes. Boy, I can say fuck now. I keep forgetting that we're sitting here. When you fucking drop dead like that, when you're shot, you just fall down.
Your bones just
in
go
whatever kind of wacky way. And you can only think, if you didn't have so many bullets in you, you'd go like, ow, my knee really hurts being twisted like this. But they got bullets in them, so they don't care.
Yeah,
They're
the muscles
just on the ground.
I guess the muscles really do a lot.
Yeah.
Like things you can't even imagine. Because as soon as there's no life in your body, then the muscles just they
turn off. They get elasticy, I guess, at first, and your bones can do whatever the hell they please. And that's what happens. They're just laying there. They show that. They give a little synopsis of what happened, and then the clock starts ticking. 48, click, tick, tock. And then they have 48 hours to get a lead.
Why?
Get some kind of a lead, because they say that if homicide detectives don't get some kind of a lead within 48 hours, that the chances of them solving the crime are very small.
And this is a known thing with detectives and all that?
I guess the evidence is fresh as the first.
Yeah, it's got to be fresh. Your leads have got to be close. You need to take that evidence that you get and process it into witnesses and suspects, and that's all has to happen within 48 hours, or else the case goes cold. So they do the first 48, and it's amazing. But one thing I did notice, I watched a marathon of this, and I all day yesterday. I must have watched probably close to 20 episodes.
Wow.
And
you got to get outside and get some of this nice summer air.
I was out during the weekend.
Yeah?
I was out. Yeah, it was Sunday. Sunday I just want to do nothing because I know, we got to come in early today. So I'm watching, and out of all the episodes I watch, and they offer 2 cases per episode. They kind of intertwine them. Like they get you all dramatically hooked on one case, and then they go... And then 500 miles away in Memphis, Tennessee.
I hate when they start that other story line.
Here's the other story.
No, but then you get hooked on that storyline. Cool. And then you're like, don't go back to the other one. Now I'm interested in this one.
Yeah, then they go back and they're like, oh, good.
Yeah.
I want to see how this one finishes up. I watched so many episodes, dude. One white guy was the murderer in 20 episodes. It was one white guy stabbed a crack dealer in the chest in an apartment complex. Every single other case was black on black crime, murder, with an occasional Hispanic thrown in, just for good measure. But this is what I'm saying. They gotta do something. These leaders, because the black people are killing each other. This N-word funeral. Look, I'm watching CNN right now. They're having the NAACP is getting this big hoopla meeting together to bury the N-word, to have a funeral for the N-word. Meanwhile, you will watch a simple show like First 48. These are police cases. They're not saying let's get all the black cases and put it on TV. This isn't the first Black 48. This is crime. Murders that are happening, and they are all black on black crimes, just blasting each other. And very interesting show to watch, because the trickery that works on people stuns me. These people never watched NYPD Blue. They never watched Adam 12 Tricks are working on these people. I saw a great one. They had one guy, they brought him in, and he was scared. They could tell he was scared. So they took a picture of him, his mugshot, and they put it with 6 other pictures. And then they circled it in red ink and wrote, I identify this guy as the getaway driver. That's all they did. And then they walked in and went, hey, somebody's fingering you as the getaway driver. The guy freaks out. He goes, I did not do it, man. It wasn't me. And he was freaking out. And I guess they knew it wasn't him. So he goes, well, who was it? He goes, oh, it was Dee Dee. Dee Dee was the driver. Dee Dee. So they bring in Dee Dee, and Dee Dee ain't giving up nothing. And they tell him, look, your buddy just gave you up. Your buddy Mike just gave you up. And he goes, no, Mike's my boy. He ain't doing that. No way. So they bring Mike back, and they tell Mike, look, we're going to open the door. Dee Dee's in there. He goes, if you identify him and recognize him as Dee Dee, just nod your head. So they go, okay. They open the door. Mike looks in at Dee Dee, nods his head, and then they shut the door. Now the guys in with Dee Dee go, look, he just fingered you for the whole thing.
Oh, God.
And meanwhile, all he was doing was saying, yeah, that's him.
Right.
So then the Dee Dee's sitting there, and he goes, all right, now let me tell you what happened.
Oh, my God.
And he just starts turning on everybody. Dude, it's hysterical, the tricks that work on these people.
The trickery.
Oh, the trickery is great, and it just works time and time again. They get one guy to turn on another guy by letting him think they know, and they'll never tell him exactly what happened. I saw some guy pull the dumbest move ever. This big, fat guy decides he's going to take his ex-girlfriend and run her over about 15 times and leave just nothing but a blob in the street. He destroyed this woman.
He killed her, obviously.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, everyone's dead. It's homicide, so they all get killed in this. So she's dead. He ran her over the car, backed over her about 5 times. So they find him. He's sitting on a porch. They walk up to him and start asking him about this girl. And he goes, yeah, I knew her. And then they don't say anything. He goes, but, I ain't got a vehicle, so I couldn't have done nothing to nobody. And then the woman starts laughing and goes, what do we say about a vehicle? So the guy didn't even know she was run over, and he's like, I ain't even got a vehicle.
You just got to keep your mouth shut.
He fell for the oldest gag in the book. That's why they don't give him any information. They let him start talking and see what they know about the murder. And it's so entertaining to watch because they're real people. And you don't realize how often you should shut your mouth and lawyer up. Because the cops will get pissed when any of these guys sit down and go, I want to talk to a lawyer. They'll go, you sure? You don't want to say anything. Okay, they pick up the folder, they walk out, they shut the door, and they slam the folder on their desk and go, you lawyered up. Like they're all mad. Because some of these guys will just, they talk, tacking. Yap.
Let's say hi to Mike in Chicago. Mike, what's up?
Yeah, the best part about that show is the onlookers, the crowd reaction. If you watch every single episode, there'll be a black kid on a bike in a white T-shirt.
Yeah. It looks like the same setting. Yeah, it's 3 a.m. Kids are out.
Yeah,
it's the same group of people, and no one has a name. It's always like, I don't know, Gambo. Gambo came over. Do you know Gambo's name? Nah, he's my boy. Like, how long you known him? Maybe since like 89. All right, what's Gambo's real name? I don't know. It's Gambo. It's like, well, okay.
I just know him as Gambo.
And there's different.
Was there someone named Cheeseburger?
There was Cheesy.
Cheesy?
Cheesy was one of them.
That's coming like crazy.
And Boogie. Cheesy and Boogie were accused of murder.
How funny is that?
Cheesy and Boogie, and they had to bring some guy in to turn on Cheesy.
What, the McBurglar? Was he turning?
The Grimace.
And Cheesy and Boogie, what an awful combination that is.
A Cheesy Boogie.
Yeah.
Oh, it was. It's a great show though, and it shows these the gallows humor of the detectives, which is kind of cool. You don't usually show that. They don't usually show that because it's deemed politically incorrect. But there's just slaughtered people laying there, and they got their suit on and they're talking about why they come out dressed like this on a hot day. Hey, you look like $1 million, and they're standing like over a
dead body,
shot up body.
Nice.
But the kids are the things that they really get. They get sensitive about. They got to show they're like, and they do this other thing that kind of gets to me on some level. It doesn't matter how despicable the person that was killed is. The cops have to make it seem like it's bad that they're dead. There are some people that absolutely deserve to be dead in this show. There's 2 guys. They were drug dealers, and they got ripped off. A couple of guys burst into the house, shot him dead, took their drugs, and the cop is like, well, now I got to go. He's a father. He has 4 children. Now I got to go to the wife and tell him what happened. And meanwhile, he's going to like 4 different women to tell him that the baby daddy from 4 different children has been killed. It's not like this guy's the upstanding citizen that was murdered. He's a drug dealer. So they do that a little too much. And when kids get killed, because there was this one, it was like 2-year-old in a baby seat, and some guy fires into the car and just kills the kid.
They showed dead kid?
No, that's one thing. They won't even blurry out the face or anything. They don't show it at all.
Good.
No dead kid. But they show the tiny little body bag that they put him in, little bitty body bag. And they show the guy's not even straining to put it in the little morgue mobile. But then the cops are all like, because this guy is going to turn up because people don't stand for baby killers. And when he got back to the station house, because the people around won't even talk about it. They try to talk to him. He goes, no one knows nothing. But they get back to the station house, and the phone's ringing, just ringing. I know who it is. I know this guy. Talk to this one.
You can't be seen talking to the cops.
Yeah, that's what it is. You can't be seen talking to the friggin' cops, but they want you there, and they're screaming. They wonder why. When they tell these mothers that their sons are dead, it's that scene. It's the scene from every one of those movies like Menace to Society or any of those, because for the most part they're not decent people. They're criminals that are also being killed, but the mothers don't want to. It's still their baby, so they just fall down, and the cops are like, "This is the part of the job I don't really enjoy, having to tell people this."
That's actually the part Kenny would have volunteered for.
Oh, of course, I love to. I'll go.
Volunteer.
I'll go.
I'll tell him. We don't know if he's dead yet. That's okay. I'll make an apology if I'm wrong.
If I'm wrong, I'm willing to go back.
This show is actually a ripoff, though. It's
is
a concept. It's so irritating.
Yes.
I pitched a show called 53 and a Quarter. It was about the first 48 hours, but you like to sleep in. So it's a little over 5 hours the next day.
It's a little longer.
Let's go to Alan in Edison, New Jersey. Alan, what's up?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Al.
Hey, I watched the same marathon as you did, man. And that one white guy you're talking about that killed the drug dealer.
Yep.
He was the only fucking guy that started bawling and crying. And
Is he crying?
I can't take it.
He goes, how am I going to survive in there? Talking about prison? Because he was like some redheaded,
what was his crime?
Skinny guy. He'd stabbed this crack dealer.
Boy.
He went out to buy some crack. And it's amazing how they put this stuff together. The detectives are really amazing at this stuff. They found a cell phone. They get cell phone records. They find the guy, is living in the same apartment complex. So they bring him down to question him. And instantly, everyone's a friggin' liar. Everyone on this show is a liar. They sit down in that interrogation room and just start lying. And then the guy's going, what are you doing? He goes, you think you're brought down here because we don't know anything yet? He goes, we know already. I'm waiting for you to tell me. And then the person starts going like, oh, my God, they know. They know. And they sent people out to check his apartment. So they found a knife under his mattress.
Why would you talk even if you thought they knew?
Exactly.
You think you're going to get a break?
You think
That's what they tell you. They go, you have a choice right now. You have a choice. You can make things a lot better for yourself, or you can go to jail right now. You tell me what you want to do. That's what they do to these guys. And a lot of them will just start talking. This one guy had a knife under his bed. While they were interrogating him, they were searching his place. They found blood on the knife. So instantly they call the guy that's interrogating him. And he goes, look, we know. Because we know about the knife. We know where it was in your apartment. We found it. He goes, why are you still lying to me? And then he's like, look, I went to get some crack from the guy. He started, he turned on me, and it was self-defense. It was self-defense. He starts crying.
Wouldn't you clean the knife off or get rid of it?
And the guy didn't have a weapon, the other guy. He still had crack clinched in his dead hand.
Jeez.
And a huge stab wound to his chest. They said they thought he was shot at first, but they turned him over and went, wow, it's a lot of blood.
Serial killer guys like John Douglas, when they go after you, it's a psychological thing. When they have a case mounting against you, like especially when you've done like a whole bunch of stuff, he said they leave, like they bring you into a room where there's photographs of everything blown up, and they make it look like they have a mountain of evidence. And that's why you feel overwhelmed by it, and like you have to talk, or in some cases...
You have to explain it. And once you start explaining all that evidence on the wall or what they're saying, you're hanging yourself.
Or if they have, like, if it's somebody's head that got bashed in with a rock in one case, they had the rock that was used to kill the person there.
Yeah.
And I think they brought in a couple of guys they weren't sure of, and the person that kind of fixated on the rock, they knew. Because he knew that was the murder weapon. I mean, it's like the more shit you show somebody...
They're amazing what they can do as far as getting information out of people when they have this limited evidence. They use whatever evidence they can get, but it's not enough to build a case off of. But it's enough to bring a guy in and start questioning him about it and letting him just talk about it, and they wind up hanging themselves. Another good one was a couple of homeless guys decided to beat the crap out of a homeless guy, caved his skull in to steal his scooter, his little motor scooter. And they found a bloody footprint on a cardboard box and matched up the pattern on the bottom. It's funny because they make fun of CSI. They go and then the CSI people are brought in, and the real CSI people brought in to take prints and everything. And one of the guys going, now we just got to go to the shoe print the shoe print analyzing computer. And he starts laughing. You know, it's like
We don't
they actually go around into the neighborhood, and we're telling homeless people, let me look at your shoes. Let me look at your shoes. Let me look. And they found a guy with a match.
No kidding.
Yeah. He goes, now we just go to the shoe match computer. Like CSI's got. It doesn't work.
That is a great show, though, man. They do intertwine between a couple of... I didn't watch the marathon, but I've seen the show.
I'm going to go home and watch it today.
And they said about CSI, because one guy poured bleach on a bunch of stuff, and another guy burnt a car completely to get rid of the evidence. And one of the detectives said, he goes, people watching that goddamn CSI show, he goes, and they know now to get rid of all these little forensic evidence pieces that are laying around, hairs and little blood spots and things like that. Now they're kind of learning, but they're still too stupid to...
CSI is fucking it up for the real detectives out there.
I was waiting for one of the detectives to just go, well, Frank, this is a case where she was driven mad. You know, and put his glasses on and walk out of frame.
You know, murderers are going free because of a TV show.
Yeah.
And
they're kind of teaching them.
But, you know, the Amish thing, you know, that's just hurting people all over the place.
Yeah.
But there's actual shows that allow, you know, criminals to you know, get educated and get away
rid
with
of
stuff.
Get rid of the evidence. But this was, I mean, I could not believe the amount of just black-on-black crime that is going on. It's just ridiculous the way they are shooting each other to death.
Yeah, Brian has something on that. Brian on Long Island, what's up?
Hey, how you doing? I watched a marathon of First 48 last weekend. What a great show, man. But like you said, Anthony, it's mostly black-on-black crime. I think I've seen maybe like one or two cases where it's a white guy, and it's a lifestyle for these guys. You know, the black guys, they get pulled down into the station house. I saw one. The suspects' names were Mookie and Knockout. And Knockout was ratting out Mookie, and Mookie, the cops knew what he'd done. They had him fingered already, and he was like, well, you know, whatever it is, that's life. You know, I'm just gonna leave it up to God's hands. You know, they live this lifestyle like it's such a great thing to kind of boost their street cred, I guess. You know.
Hey, wait, was Knockout a pretty girl?
No, Knockout wasn't a pretty girl. Knockout and Mookie. They all have nicknames. It's hysterical. They all got nicknames.
You know, I used to see this all the time. I used to be a cop in Brooklyn, so, you know, seeing these guys, it's the same thing. They keep living in the street, even young kids, going from the age of 10 years old and up. It's just a glorified lifestyle for them. They have no respect.
It really is.
They have no respect for each other.
And you talk to the families. They talk to the families of some of these people, and it's nothing but, you know, he was into drugs for a while, but he really was trying to get his life together now. It's like, well, you know, he's found amongst a bunch of drugs and bullet casings dead on the ground. I don't think he was doing such a good job of maybe cleaning his life up. The family, you know, and albeit they're a little sad, but a bit delusional.
Yeah, let's say hi to Richie in Rhode Island. Richie.
Hey, I was watching that, too. Did you see the one with the guy? They brought him in for questioning. They let him sit there for a minute, and he starts praying and then throwing up in a cup.
Oh, yeah. Guy, like, crosses himself. He's praying to God, and then he's like, bleh, bleh, he starts throwing up in a cup that's in front of him. He just couldn't take it. Yeah, and they were like, all right, a little bit of pressure on this guy. The cops know, too. They walk in, and they know, and they just look him in the eye and go, you're lying. Because you're lying to me. Because what am I, stupid? And they just know.
That's awesome. I can't wait to see the show. Frank in Brooklyn, what's up?
Yo, it's Fred, Opie. What's up, man?
Oh, hey, Fred.
Hey, Ed. That one where the 61-year-old black guy gunned down the two guys in the pickup truck.
In the pickup,
went into his house and pulled out that arsenal. The first thing I thought of was, what would happen if they emptied your house?
It was like
40 shotguns.
They had about 30 shotguns in the trunk, and then they pulled out like an AR and an AK, and this guy, he was a bad dude.
And that's 61 years old. I mean,
he was no kid.
No kidding.
That's what they're looking up to.
Huh. All right, thank you, Fred.
All right, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to Alan in Massachusetts. Alan.
Hey, guys, how you doing? Hey,
Good, man.
This is the only show that I DVR is this show in South Park, so this is a great show on TV, though. But I want to talk about the burn victims. The only way they could identify them is by the 5 gold teeth. That's kind of original there.
They burnt some car so badly with a body in it that they're looking in, and they're looking for a while, and then someone goes, is that a bra strap? And it's like, oh, man, we might have a woman here. Couldn't even tell, just burnt to a crisp.
Why not just feel around in it? That's how I usually tell. Wink, wink. If it feels like 2 burnt ice cream cones, you'll know you have a gal. It looks like somebody burned a Hot Pocket. Yep, that's a woman.
So it's on A&E. It's called First 48.
Yeah. I guess new episodes are starting up.
What is this,
Thursday,
the second season?
I'm not even sure. These were from 2006.
Yeah.
They got to do follow-ups because at the end it's like he's awaiting trial for murder 1. And then they go, he is assumed innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah, they have to say
It's like, thanks.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, I wasn't looking at him thinking he was guilty.
All right, this is a little strange. We got Orlando calling from Miami.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
What's up, Orlando?
And what's funny about that show, man, is that my wife and I bet to see what town never gets it done. And I hate to say it, man, but Miami sucks ass, man. All you see them is they're having Cuban coffee. They're supposed to be checking out some guy, and all of a sudden they show them in the corner of the street. They're having some café con leche or coladita. And my wife and I are like, oh, yep, of course, like always, Miami.
Oh, that is funny.
48 days, they might get it done then.
48 days, call it. The guy's right, because sometimes 48 hours ticks away, and they go, we didn't get him. We don't have a suspect. We don't have leads. We don't have nothing. And, Miami does seem to be that
really?
that city.
Remember we used to play Guess the Color?
Yeah.
Can you do that with this game?
No. It's
the
all,
show, I mean.
You know why?
See, Guess the Color, when Cops was huge and everybody was watching Cops, Aunt and I back in the day, we would sit around and the call would come in, and we would guess if it was a white crime or a black crime.
Yeah.
We were right probably 90% of the time.
Because it's a lot of shootings going on. A lot of shootings. It's a lot of that spur of the moment, crime of passion shootings that go on, drug related. So a majority of these people that they're pulling in are black guys. A lot of young black men that are being pulled in on this show. I'm just waiting for someone to say, read a review about it that says it's, sensationalizing it and it's a racist show or something like that. But I haven't seen that yet.
Nah, that'll happen.
It's a lot of the detectives are black, and I'm sure they don't like seeing it. They're shaking their heads all the time, just going, "Geez, what a waste." But a lot of these guys, it's amazing. Been on the job, homicide, like 20 years. Could you imagine just 20 years of marching around dead bodies? Just butchered bodies and stuff, kids. Yeah, right. Then you just, go home to your wife and kids.
I figure after 5.
You think 5 is the point where you just doesn't even matter? It's like you might as well be painting.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or something. It doesn't matter. You're just another day at work.
All right. So it's First 48. It's on A&E.
Yeah, check it out.
Great show, man. I haven't seen it in a while, but it really is a fun show to watch.
Definitely.
I got to check it out.
Because the evidence is so fresh.
Yeah,
When Quincy got stuff, it was always bad.
Right.
It was always bad.
What? Sam would always have some bad. Is that? It is. Of course it is.
He left a footprint, Sam.
Wait, I want to close my eyes.
Remember that?
To really appreciate Jimmy's impression. Go, Jimmy.
Autopsy.
Sam, there's a load on my feet, and I think it's yours.
Wow. That's amazing. That's amazing.
I don't do impressions. And then Alan Alda runs in, and his arm goes out. He goes, yes. That's all I do.
The beginning of Quincy, you hear that little whip it where it's all sexy like? They would show Quincy looking over a body every few seconds of this intro to the show. And he's running his finger over the side or an arm. And then when this part comes up, he's doing that. And then they pan back and he's on his boat and it's a woman. And she gets up and hugs him.
Yeah. She's dead.
She's dead. He dragged her onto the boat from the morgue.
He fucks her corpse and Sam eats shrimp fried rice. And they're 69. Sam, I told you, don't come in my hair. Sam. Sam's a cunt.
His foil. That's great.
All right.
Erotic
Quincy.
relationship.
Yeah. Why don't we take a break and continue?